This is a Hyper Easy Rider from Walmart. It's a single-speed beach cruiser with coaster brake. Obviously, we've done something to it. That's Charlie in the background with little dog syndrome. There he goes. We put an 80cc motor, so they claim, it's not really 80 cc's, with a compression head, and we also upgraded to a high performance carburetor and a booster bottle. We upgraded the fuel line because the stock fuel line's really bad. It's a 1/4-inch fuel line, and we made it one size smaller, so no more fuel leaks. We just open it up a bit with a Phillips head screwdriver or something with a rounded end. We upgraded the sprocket to a 36-tooth CNC sprocket that goes on the hub, as opposed to a rag joint that goes on the spokes and is 44-tooth. So you go faster, but you lose a little bit of your low end torque. We upgraded the exhaust pipe to an expansion chamber. This one's known as a banana pipe. It is louder. It's got a cool tone. This one does help. It does increase your power a little bit, but I don't think it's that efficient. There are better ones in the game. For example, this one right here, you'll pay about double the price, but it really improves performance. You notice it right away. You get a lot more lower end torque, plus you get a lot more speed out of it, and it does have a cool pipe tone as well. We upgraded the exhaust gasket. This is a gasket for an oxygen center off an '02 Toyota Highlander. As you can see, it's really it's got metal in there instead of just sort of a cardboardy material. And since you have to clean your exhaust a fair bit to keep the carbon out of there if you're a good owner, those other gaskets wear out pretty fast, where this one will not. You could use a Dremel to shape the port to match the port better, but you do that, and you clean up your ports in the head, and you can get 5 to 10K more out of your bike just doing that with the expansion chamber and cleaning your ports. We added side pull brakes. They have stainless steel casing, or stainless steel lines, with color-coded gold casing to match the highlights of the bike. We have a 2-in-1 brake lever, so both brakes go into one lever on the throttle side of your bike, and the clutch is on the other side. We upgraded the grips. They look a little nicer, color keyed again to the highlights of the bike, and they have some very thin metal rather than just the rubbery, benign plastic ones that you get with the kit. You also have a computer that will tell you the time, how fast you're going, temperature, stopwatch, a whole bunch of stuff in there that's typical of bicycle computers. We have dual mirrors, which are quite nice because you can see from both sides, and they work quite well. Not too much vibration on them, and they make the bike look just a little more boss. We added an artificial leather pouch to the front, quite functional. Also, you can add a lot of stuff in there, and it looks pretty good. We have a retro style headlight that matches the style of the bike, and again accents it quite nicely. They claim it's 600 lumens. I'm not too sure about that, but it is quite bright. It's got a metal casing rather than a plastic one, so it's not really cheap. And it, as I said, it is quite bright at night. Works quite well. We have a very cool tail light here. This tail light can be set at automatic or manual. Manual, you turn it on and off yourself. That button in the center will turn it on and off when it's on manual. It'll also change it from flashing to fade in and out. It will also go solid if you want it to be solid. When it's turned off or on auto and you use the bike during the daytime and nighttime, it will act as a brake light. Even when the manual switch is turned off and you're running on manual, it will still kick in as a brake light. The automatic mode, you turn it on auto. When you move the bike, it turns on automatically. If it's dark enough, it'll stay on. And then when you're done riding, it'll turn off automatically within a couple of minutes. And it's USB charged, and it's a very cool little tail light. And at night, it's quite bright and visible, even though it looks kind of small. We also added a horn on, USB charged. It's very loud, loud enough to definitely hear above the motor. And it's a pretty good little guy too. It's got 3 settings, but the horn is the most useful, and the other's a silly little air horn, and then you got to... We had trouble getting the chains to match up properly, so I added a chain tensioner off an old bicycle I had. Cleaned it up, it works fantastic. The bonus is, compared to a single speed chain tensioner, you have 2 screws right here, which you use to line it up with your sprocket, rather than spacers, which is a real pain in the patoot. We have a little Easter egg in regards to security, or to help secure the owner with their security. We have this little fob, and it has a motion sensor. It'll tell you when it's armed, and right now it's just factory set default in the middle. It can go super sensitive where you just give a whiff by it and it'll set off. But it'll warn the person first if they mess with your bike. It'll warn them not to mess with your bike. Say, hey, back off. And then if you do it again, it won't stop until the owner comes by, and it also becomes a little more sensitive. It's quite loud. It'll deter a lot of people. And you can put your key on the fob for your locks. Now this bike, I weigh 170 pounds, and I've got it at 45 kilometers an hour on a flat surface. It's not quite broken in, so it'll probably go a little faster and run smoother once the motor's completely broken in, because that's how they work. It's 100% street legal in the province of Ontario. You have to be 16, you have to wear a helmet, it's got the lights, the horn. You have to follow all the same rules as any power assist vehicle or e-bike. No riding on the sidewalks, no power assist on bike paths. You can only bicycle on a bike path, but you can gas her up on roads. So there it is. A pretty sweet ride.